Now, obviously, I'll get into the performances afterwards. But again, looking at the directing, I think that you see, I mean, going to the whole thing that could she win an Oscar? Could she not win an Oscar? I've not really seen the other cracks out there. I've not seen the other smalaks out there, like your Inglorious Bastard. I'm not. I mean, we're going to be seeing Avatar later on this week. No, look, Star Trek is not even a consideration. It shouldn't even be in the race. Um, so yeah, I've not really seen Invictus. I've not seen that. So I mean, there are a few big players out there. So, and I think that the directing, it wasn't like a landmark achievement. It wasn't something that was amazing. Like, I mean, Apocalypse Now, 100% definitely deserves a nomination because I feel this is probably one of the best Iraq War films out there. You know, just because you really because it took me back to the Saving Private Ryan, not of like the quality of the film, of like how good it was, but it took me back to the same emotions I felt watching Saving Private Ryan of I don't want to be here. Because you see, with Platoon, Platoon is my personal favorite war movie, but I don't. Because when you watch Platoon, you feel like, oh my, this war thing. It's like, oh, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. It's quite cool. Apocalypse Now is very romantic. But when you watch Saving Private Ryan, I don't want to be there. Okay, I do not want to be there. No, 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 thanks. When you're watching this movie, I don't want to be a bomb disposal guy. These guys, their job is ridiculous. I mean, what they do is extremely important and it is so dangerous. Like, one mistake and that's it. You're dead, and a lot of other guys are dead as well. So it's crazy, and I think that was one of the charms of the film. That's like she cut away all the you know bells and whistles and the music and trying to make this thing. It was just like hardcore. Boom! This is what it is, and she let the actors roll with it. The directing did not overwhelm the actors because normally this whole shaky cam and everything can overwhelm the acting, and you just think about, oh, did you see that scene? But really, there was a good balance between the directing and the characters. Because I felt away knowing that, yeah, I knew the characters, I knew their relationships, I knew how they reacted with one another. So yeah, I think that she's got a decent. I think the best chance she has is the whole woman thing. A woman has never won an Oscar, and also it's actually a good film. So it's not like if it's not really that good. It's probably one of the best Iraq War films out there. Trying to show you what it's like being in this war. So yeah. Um, Now going into the performances, obviously I think a lot of people have been talking about Jeremy Renner, best actor performance. To be honest, he did well. He did well. He did well. I mean, I thought it was good, and like but don't get carried away. He wasn't amazing. Should he get a nomination? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Should he definitely win? I don't think so. No, because as I say again, people will say, "Oh, wow, look at what he did. Was so amazing. Was so amazing." Put Mickey Rock in that role. Just put Mickey in, and then the film would go up several notches. Because that's why I always says that he did well, but if you put in a Mickey Rock in there, especially in the emotional scenes, he would take it to the nth degree. He would take it to the nth degree. Come on, you've seen all of Mickey's films. He would take it to the nth degree. So he still did well. But you know what? I think that Anthony Mackie, man, I thought he was probably the best actor out of all of them. And he's not really getting as much praise as Jeremy Renner. And I thought that he did really well, like as the Sanborn character, obviously dealing with what happened to begin with Guy Pearce's character, and also having to react to this crazy cowboy guy dealing with this situation. I thought he did really really well, and I felt that he did the best job out of all of them three. But this is not taking anything away from Jeremy Renner, who was good, and yeah, he should definitely get a nomination for what he did. But I think Anthony Mackie as well, he should be given as much recognition as well because he did very well. And the Eldridge guy, he did well as well because he's obviously his character, he was a guy who didn't want to be here. He was obviously showing the fears and the nerves of being in this situation, and the James guy didn't make things better by throwing them into this unwanted situation. So I thought, and also way he was reacting with his, I think he was his psychiatrist or something. That was also a very nice element. So I think he played that part well. He played that part well. I think he was very convincing. And again, unknown, never seen him before. I could get into his character a lot more, and he also acted well. So it's all good there. So yeah, I mean, you see, this. I mean, a lot of people. Because I was trying to look on the board and get a little consensus from the guys on the street on this film on the boards. So the guys on the street, they've been saying that, oh, this is an amazing best war movie of the decade, the best war movie of a generation. No, the best war movie. I don't know how the generations work, but best one of the best war movies out there, and like it didn't come out that long ago, 1998. Saving Private Ryan. It's gonna take a hell of something to be something like Saving Private Ryan. But the way I think thinking of where they're coming from, the Iraq War is still going on now. This is what has defined this decade. And I think that from the Iraq War movies that I know, that I've seen, you'll be hard pressed to find something better, than this, as in depicting what it's really like. That's the thing. I felt that this thing when I watched that, I felt that, okay, man, this is a place that I don't know where to be. You have the language barrier, the cultural barrier, and that language barrier creates problems. Anybody can be shot at any time. But also, I mean, these bomb disposal guys. I mean, I think that's always the beauty of movies, that it's made me think. Even reading on the board again, that these guys, man, it's like it's crazy because you need these guys here because there are bombs everywhere, and that's how most of these soldiers get killed, because you're fighting urban warfare, and there are booby traps, bombs everywhere. Because this is not just like in a plain field. Because you're fighting men who know this terrain. They know all the little places, secret places where other guys will not know, because they know this terrain, so they know how to mess you up. And having these bomb disposal guys, disposing of these bombs, some of them may be on time, or some of them a kid could just trip up on them. Their job it's a crazy job, and it just makes you just think that, man, that war is a crazy thing, you know, like war isn't cool, like all these people say, oh man, look at guys acting all cool, like say, oh yeah, I don't want to go to one way. So listen, man, it's not cool. And I think that especially I think that was one of the little beauties of this thing, was that looking at the James character played by Jeremy Renner, as like he has to do it, you know this is like his life, which is why you saw that, which is why that ending made so much sense, is that like this, he can't really do anything else, and for some of these guys, it's like, it's not, yes, it is a bravery thing, but at the same time, it's like they can't function in the real world. Like they need this rush, they need the adrenaline. So it's not really a patriotic thing of like, I'm doing this for America. It's like they're doing this for themselves. They may use the patriotism angle, saying that, okay, yeah, I'm doing this for America, but really, like, I think that was what this was saying. So that Jeremy Renner character was that he had to do this. He needs to feel like he can be dead at any time, which is why he kept all of those things in the bag, saying that these things, they could kill me. These are the things that could have killed me at any time. And that thing of dancing with death, flirting with death, is what brings him back to it. I thought that was a very, very interesting point. So you know what? I'd 100% recommend this film. Find this film. I recommend this film. You need to watch this film. It's probably an important film to watch, because it's a war that's going on now. It's real. It's 100% real. It's not a joke. And this film does a very good job of depicting a very crazy situation out there. But you've got to be impartial. You can't just say that, oh, it should win all of these, or it should win the Oscar and everything because it's the Iraq War. No, the best film wins. But talking real talk, straight talk, this is what Catherine Bigelow has put down. Trying to depict the Iraq War. You should definitely watch this film.